There you
Are
go.
you on your line?
Yeah,
Oh, that works.
you can hear him, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I can now. Hey, Christian. Welcome to Action Radio.
Hello. Thank you for letting me be your guest.
Oh, no problem at all. Listen, hey, you can do something I can't do, and that's play chess. So I was immediately interested in how it works, and the fact that you're building a business around it, or whatever you're doing as an entrepreneur at 11, I think that's fabulous. And what you show is that you're not limited by age. You're only limited by your desire and your ability to work at something. And the more you have a desire, the more you have the inspiration, the more you're willing to work at something. It doesn't matter how old you are. So I think that's fabulous. Just to let you know, I started flying lessons at 12. So age to me is no limitation either on my side, in the 60, plus area, or Jared at 11. So you're among friends here. So tell me your story.
So the year before this, I was in 5th grade, and we were planning to try to attend what's called the Young Entrepreneurs Academy, or YEA for short.
Okay.
And they're all about starting companies with younger people. I'm the youngest in the class, but it goes basically anywhere from middle school to just entering college. Is that right?
Yeah.
And we have mentors there that help us work on our business plan and give us all the information we need to start a company and run the numbers and how to try to get loans. And we were supposed to do something like Shark Tank, if you've ever seen the show, where we go up to a bunch of investors.
A little bit, but not really familiar. So if you want to give us a quick
so
idea of what they do on Shark Tank.
So you start your company and you go to these investors. All these investors have specific areas that they're excellent in. Like one of them owns Food Network and something like that.
Okay.
And you try to pitch your idea, and they'll give you money if they think it's good. But with Shark Tank, they take a chunk of your business. Like I'll give you $500,000 for 30% of your company, or something like that. But they don't do that with the gay investors.
Deals? Are these actual business deals, or is this just for the show?
No, it's a real business deals. The real business deals.
Okay. Yeah.
And the investors aren't going to be getting a chunk of our business in the YEA. It's just they're investing in a couple of people who they think are the best and who have the best chance to succeed.
Interesting. And so what I'm curious about is how you make chess into a business. So tell me how you got interested in chess. Tell me how good you are, and sort of let's work the chess angle, then we'll figure out if it's the business angle.
Well, I mean, I'd say I'm pretty good at chess. I mean, you gotta have to be to teach people. But I started since I think I was 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Mom taught me the moves, and I kind of evolved from there. And I was beating my parents by 6. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
what
I went
did you do that was different? What could you see that your parents couldn't see?
Well, really just
when you look at a chessboard.
Thinking more moves ahead. And I got tutors, and I would go to these clubs, and I would just keep learning on and on from there until the point where I was going to tournaments. And I got 3rd place in a few tournaments up in Canada, but mainly down here, I won 1 tournament, and I've been doing a lot of online tournaments lately since all the actual tournaments are canceled.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. We can talk about that sometime too. But for chess online, it's not like poker where you have to hide your cards. Chess, you can be completely open. Everybody sees your moves. There were famous. There was a movie about the Boris Spassky, Bobby Fischer chess matches, and these went on for years. And Bobby Fischer was this genius, crazy guy. There's a fine line between genius and crazy. Hopefully, you're on the genius side. But listen, myself, I think I kind of flip flop back and forth between genius and crazy. But it's fun to have ideas. It's fun to be able to explore things. And you can do what I can't do. I cannot see chess moves ahead of time. So when you're looking at a chessboard, all right, and you see your opponent, are you reading your opponent? Do you know what they're going to do? Are you thinking of the different options that they have? Do you plan several different scenarios for what they might do next? How do you do what you do? I'm really curious.
So when it's with like my friends versus a tournament setting, I do different things. So when I'm just with my friends, like in the cafeteria after we finish eating lunch, we're playing, I know all their openings and I know how to counter them. So really, I'm just making the perfect counter to them. The first few times.
Are these classic openings? Have you studied the classic openings, or you just know what your friends are going to do when they open?
I have openings that I do, and sometimes I have to shift my opening a little bit, like make a different variation of it so I can counter the moves, and I know exactly what they're planning because they make it pretty obvious. But
this is interesting.
Yeah, but when I'm in a tournament
this
setting.
Is your youngin'?
Yes, Greg. This is our buddy. He's 11. He's our pride and joy, and we're pretty proud of him to make some business out of this. It's pretty exciting to watch him, and it's a totally different mindset, I think, than most 11-year-olds. He's always been very entrepreneurial. And
well, you know, I want a chess report now every month. You know that, don't you? You know I want you to take one of your cruise and travel reports and bring on Christian for the monthly chess report. I mean, you knew that was coming, right?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, sure.
And I know we have Amy Effman on the line. I know she'd like to ask him a few questions, if that's okay.
Okay. Fine with me. Amy, you want to join us?
Did she call in?
You're live, Amy. Her line is live. It's been live the whole time.
Hi, and good morning, everybody. This is Amy.
There we go.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me on the show. As a licensed family therapist, I am just fascinated by hearing what I'm hearing from Christian. It sounds like we have this talented 11-year-old who has some extra time on his hands right now and is just building a business with the spare time that he has and motivating other people to take on, you know, his wishes, his dreams through chess. And I'm delighted to hear what I'm hearing. It sounds like a really healthy outlet for him to be spending time doing this during the downtime. And I'm just so curious about what inspires him to both play chess and to be part of the Young Entrepreneurs Academy.
Okay.
Kristen,
so I'm going to start off first.
A little bit about your inspiration?
Yes. My inspiration is that I like to make money. I'll just come out in front. I like to make money. So
right.
I've been big at selling things. I've been selling comics. I'd buy them from my school at like $1, and then I'd sell them at $2 in our community, going door to door.
So you're like 5 at this point, or what?
Well, the Smensels, they were actually when I was in 4th grade, so 2 years ago. But yeah, I've been a pretty big businessman since our last home, which was a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was selling handmade comics, and then I figured out a photocopier.
Can you be my marketing director?
Yeah, sure.
I'm marketing director.
Sure, but I'm not cheap.
No, I need Christian. Shelby, I need your kid. Okay. So I'm serious about this. If he has marketing ideas for Action Radio, I need like social media and some other things, and maybe you can help me connect the live stream stuff. Because Christian, you got it. You got it going. This is amazing. And so just to get back to Amy's question, I'll let that go. Now I got a ton of questions. I have questions for Amy too. So anyway, continue, Christian. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. And what inspired me to go to Yay was I love the idea of being a corporate founder and CEO by the time I was 12. Like, I'm going to be doing graduation like a week before my birthday. So it's like, for my 12th birthday, I have a company. Yay!
That's awesome, Kristen.
Thank you.
Well, let me
And
get a question for Amy. This is unusual to have 11 or 12-year-old. I mean, I understand because I was doing things. I mean, I always wanted to be an airline pilot from the age of 5. And I think we underestimate kids horribly, that we don't give them the chance to do the things because we think of them as kids. So, Christian, as far as I'm concerned, you're as adult as any adult I've ever talked to. And so I'm going to treat you as such because I think you've earned that and you deserve it. But for Amy, do you think that kids are underestimated? Do you see kids as being stifled? And how can we allow, like Shelby has done, to have someone like Christian, develop his full potential, even if he is 11 or 12 years old? What do you think?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of it has to do with the home that they're raised in. It sounds like Christian's very well adjusted, and he has the opportunity to have a mom and a dad there helping him, look for opportunities outside of video games and kind of doing some of the things that people are kind of constricted to doing at this time. It sounds like Christian's motivated, he's optimistic, so I think a lot of that energy and that attitude comes from his environment, and certainly as he's sharing all of these dreams and excitement, it sounds like mom is getting pretty pumped about his goals. So I think it takes a lot of family support. I think it takes a village, if you will. And it sounds like the school that he's in allows for these types of opportunities, whereas in my middle school, we didn't have a chess club and we didn't have a Young Entrepreneurs Academy. So it sounds like a combination of many great things going for him and just an awesome attitude, both from Christian and his family, that they want him to succeed and to look for opportunities. And kind of like mom does, build things that don't necessarily exist. So it sounds like he has this idea to have bigger and better and build a business. And I think a lot of those kind of ideas pour down from his exposure to his family and their kind of ideas, if you will.
Question: in your practice, would you ever match, say Christian up with a kid that is having some problems and use chess as a way to kind of allow that other kid to express themselves or be creative or feel good, build some self-esteem, build some spirit within them? Because I think he's got a ton to offer. Yeah, was that Christian you wanted to say something?
Yeah, chess is like a big reliever for me. It's fun, minus the part of melting your brain, and it can really help get some stress off. Unless you're at a tournament, then it's pretty stressful.
But yeah. Do you like the challenge? You must love the competition.
Yes, I do. I'm a guy that loves challenges.
Okay. Well, that's nothing too, and this is something that I find in the schools, that they seem to be, sort of reducing the competition. They have, everybody gets a participation trophy, and more from Christian. Do you see competition as valuable not only for your own self-esteem, but for making you the best person you can, because you have to match yourself against, at some point, I'm sure, the best in the world. You're going to be taking on the best chess players in the world. So how do you see competition as being reduced? Do you think there should be more of it? Where do you see it?
Well, right now, I definitely feel like competition is being reduced. Because just a couple years ago, they weren't handing out participation trophies at the chess tournaments, and now I go to one and everyone walks home with a trophy. Before, it used to be like a medal, like a small plastic medal if you got one, saying participation. And the trophies here are awesome, but it doesn't really motivate people to actually play because they know they can just get a medal for attending.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to take that one on?
Well, that's a sensitive topic. I know that it's really wonderful.
Oh, we do that all the time.
Celebrate. Yeah.
Look at Action Radio. This is the ultimate free speech zone, so I don't hold back.
That's right. So let's flow.
Don't you hold back either. Feel free. If you disagree with me,
that's
perfectly
fine. I'm certainly a fan of honoring people's strengths and participation, but like Christian said, it could actually serve as a disservice to somebody who's very well prepared and training and practicing and as good as he is. So I think that there's some benefits on both sides. Certainly, he's had various types of competitions where he said he won third place in Canada a couple times, he's won first place here, and now he's doing online tournaments. But I could see some benefit in people who are struggling to find something that they enjoy, a hobby, and that they're attending these chess tournaments, maybe playing the best they can, getting some sort of awareness or recognition, but certainly not the first or second place trophy that I think he's been speaking of, that he's been honored with a couple times because of his hard work. So I could see it both ways. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I remember when I was in Australia competition. I wasn't a big competitor, from Canada when I was a kid, but they made me do things. I mean, they made me play sports. They made me do a bunch of stuff. But the attitude in Australia was much more try your best. And if you don't try your best, now we're going to make fun of you. What I found in the United States, that I didn't play sports in school because it was much more win at all costs. You had to win in order to be valuable. And so I see both sides of the competition coin, and I like it to be try your best. But I also like it to be award the winners because they did something to win. I mean, there's value in winning and there's value in trying. They're two different virtues, and you should be able to you should emphasize the try part. But it's not about losing. Losing teaches you something. My failures at Action Radio have taught me more than my successes, and I take those failures and I build on them. Shelby, you want to get into this?
Kristen?
What was that, Amy?
Kristen, either one. Yeah.
Yes, I'm on.
Oh, can you relate to that, Kristen, from learning from your failures? Like maybe the time that you got third place and not first or second, did you learn anything from those experiences? Because I think Greg brings up a great point, that oftentimes we learn from the times we're not the winners or the top or the first place recipient, but we could still learn from the experiences when we're second or third, or maybe we don't get a trophy in that tournament. I think there's some value to that.
What do you think?
Yeah. And
She asked, do you think that...
Yeah, Shelby, you want to get on this? Feel free. You can talk to us too.
yeah, I've definitely learned from my failures, because I've had a few of them at tournaments. It's just been a big flop. Like a few times, it's been like I've won one game out of the 5. It teaches me how to like mod my openings, how to change them, and what to do next time. If this move happens, instead of doing this move, I should do that move. Goes into like my bank, and I withdraw when I need.
That's the perfect explanation for it, because I did that too. When I was flying airplanes, when I was teaching, I had a bank of knowledge. At Action Radio, I have a bank of knowledge that goes into what I'm doing here, so I don't make the same mistake twice. Guitar playing, that's my outlet, and there's just things I can do, and I keep adding to the bank. That's a good way to explain it. I want to change things a little bit here. I want to know how you're going to make money at this, Mr. Entrepreneur, sir.
So how I'm making money is right now I'm doing free classes since COVID-19, and not many people have $20 just to spend on a class, and it really motivates them, and it's basically like a lead generator. They come on every Sunday at noon, and they take a free half an hour class, and then I'm gonna start charging after this COVID-19 blows over, and I already have a bunch of people that like my classes, so they won't really hesitate to purchase from me. And I've run the numbers.
So are you teaching classes online? Are you teaching classes
yes.
online? Are you teaching classes in person? How are you doing this?
It's all online. My company is totally online. It goes from the website to a Zoom to us talking. And the name is teenchess.com. That's where you can go. Right now I'm working for donations as opposed to working for people. I'm working for donations, and anyone can donate and attend the class. Oh yeah, teenchess.com. Teenchess.com.
So why are you doing it for teens? Why are you specializing in teens?
Mainly because they're on their phones a lot. I mean, it's just a good way to get people off their phones and off playing video games.
Right?
That's a great answer.
I get to make money while helping the planet.
And so I was going to say, helping kids get off their phones. Like, I feel like the kids are on their phones too much. Does anyone not agree with that? Amy, it must affect the family systems?
Definitely agree. Certainly, I would say during the time they're not playing chess. I think they're up to some other stuff. So I think this is an awesome, healthy outlet for socializing and kind of thinking and using their brain outside of typical video games and social media, shopping, and everything else that we see online for the teenage population.
Yeah, I agree. So
I got something I want to bring with Kristen. That I think it's interesting that doing this, forming a company at 11 and soon to be 12, that if you had to hire people, child labor laws wouldn't let you hire somebody until they were 16. What do you think of that?
Yeah, great point.
Yeah,
Great point.
Definitely there's been a few hiccups in the road with being my age, such as bank accounts.
Okay.
Like I can't have a bank account until I'm, 18 or something like that?
well, you have a bank account, but they don't.
Yeah.
They don't let you have a business bank account, I think. I don't think they'll let you have a business bank account until you're 18.
Yeah, they only, I'm only allowed to make 4 deposits or withdrawals in total in 1 month with the Young Savings bank accounts. And so I have to, and me and Dad, we had to create a new bank account under his name because all the payment will go to him. And then I guess he'll bunch up the money at the end and send it to me.
How come Dad isn't on the show?
Well, because he's got a conference call and he's working 9 times as hard now for his company.
Okay, well, we need to get him on the line one day too, so that
Yeah.
Christian, are you homeschooled partially at all, or?
Well, Right now, it's like total homeschooling, since there is no school to go to. But I've never really been homeschooled, except for in my hobbies. Like Dad will sit me down and teach me how to draw, or you guys will sit me down and taught me how to play chess when I was 5.
Yeah. Hey, I got a chess question for you. Sacrificing the queen, is it ever worth it, or you should really hang on to your queen no matter what?
There is a lot of times where sacrificing your queen can get you the win, but you have to know the moves. Sacrificing the queen is a big deal. It's not like you can just recover from that unless you have so much edge over your opponent that it's basically just simple. But at any time, losing the queen is a big deal. So you want to make sure you have an actual sacrifice to make. And it's not just sacrifices with the queens. Like, there's something called the Greek gift, which is you sacrifice the bishop to bring the king out, and then you just corner him and eventually checkmate him in a few moves. So you can sacrifice any piece other than your king.
Right, that makes sense. So do you create a defensive position and let the opponent come to you, or are you aggressive, or do you do kind of like both at the same time?
It all really depends on the color and the opponent I'm playing with. If I'm playing as white, I typically go for the London system, which is more like a passive-aggressive thing. There's not many threats in the beginning of the game, so I'm tempting them to just open up whatever they can. And then after that, I go into a middle game strategy where I kind of corner them in and get forks going and all that. So there's not
all that
many,
chess stuff.
Yeah, all that chess stuff. All that chess stuff like checkmate.
No, it's fantastic. Have you studied chess masters and either do you have like a mentor or an influence from a particular chess master over time?
I did have a chess tutor, but he wasn't like a grandmaster or anything, because those guys were like $400 for an hour class. It's insane.
Yeah. No, but I was thinking of like people that the masters over time, because they studied the classic openings, middle games, and closings of the great masters. Is there some particular style? Like when I play guitar, I'm very much like a Dire Straits Mark Knopfler player, and it's been a huge influence on my playing. Also dig Dale surf guitar, so that's where my influence is. Do you have influences in chess that you have picked up that have influenced your style?
Yeah, I've picked up more of a defensive edge, letting my opponent come at me.
Okay.
And I didn't really get it from any particular master, just when I was taught a defensive opening, it just felt right.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was...
Christian, I could talk to you all day.
I'm sure you could, but I don't want...
a monthly chess report.
I don't want to take up the other people's time, so if you want to...
We make this up as we go on. No, in fact, I have Karen's online. In fact, I'm sure Karen has a couple questions for you as well, because you are a wonderful guest. I want to do a chess report. I want to know what's going on in the world of chess. I want to know new strategies, new things that are happening, world chess competitions, chess at all levels, from school up to regional competitions. Tell me the whole thing. So can you join me once a month?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to.
Shelby, is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great. And thank you so much, Amy, for getting on and supporting him. It's very sweet. We really appreciate your questions and time.
Yeah, Amy, you're back. You're welcome back for your own hour. Okay, Amy, if you want to come back.
I so appreciate that.
Yeah, because we used to have a lot of family law reporting, and so it'd be great to have you come on and tell us what's happening as well. So, do you have another question or something you want to do before I bring Karen on? And Karen, I think, has a question for Christian too. So don't you guys go away yet.
Okay, we'll stay.
Okay.
I just wanted to say I'm so fascinated with Christian's desire to impact teenagers, especially during the coronavirus, and really kind of spread a great message and a great, tool, a coping skill for people to stay busy. And I'm just so proud of him for doing what he's doing and having these great ideas and sharing them on the radio. Can't be easy for an 11-year-old to do this interview. So I think he's done a great job, and I think it's awesome that he's spreading his message. He's a real inspiration.
He sounds like he's done this for years.
That's right. He sure does.
I can talk about myself in the company all day.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you for coming on, and thank you for letting me on.
Right. Oh, no problem. Let's bring Karen on, see if she has a question for Christian before we start our investigative stuff for today. Karen, you want to talk to this kid? He's amazing.
I actually don't have many questions, but I do love that, you know, he is so passionate about chess. And I'm hoping that because people have been home for so long that they have been playing a lot of games that are, you know, true board games and not necessarily all online games, you know, just for the socialization and just because it's so much fun to play the classics. So.
Okay, sounds good to me. And on that note, Shelby and Christian, I'm going to let you two go. When I get into Karen's sport, I know she has a ton of stuff, and we have John Holm that's going to join us at the top of the hour, probably a couple minutes late, just because I wanted to hear what Karen has to say. So thank you both. Thank you too.
Thank you.
Let's